So I've been going over and watching every episode of season 9 of Rick and Morty. And this season, it's in the top 5. It's good. Like, Rick and Morty is so back. But what I'm going to be doing in this video, I'm going to be ranking every episode in season 9 of Rick and Morty from least to best. Now, the worst one, at number 10, we got episode 3, Rick Fu Hustle. Now, like I said, none of these episodes are bad per se. This one, I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's the fact that I had to see Jerry Smith's bare ass cheeks out. This nigga was getting his ass ate by a pool cleaner. And I had to see that. I had to see that and endure that. I don't trust Jerry Smith. Something's wrong with him. If you'll stick your dick in a pool cleaner, there's no telling what you'll stick your dick in. Nigga, you're nasty. And also, the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, yeah!
Not the Kool-Aid Man, but the Hawaiian Punch Man. Why was he a god in this episode? See, I say something like Rick can beat Goku, and then I turn around and see that the nigga on Hawaiian Punch, on the Hawaiian Punch logo, is stronger than the nigga that I said can beat Goku, and I look stupid. That's why this is the worst episode. Was there funny moments? Yes, but it's a little too goofy and stupid compared to the other episodes. At number 9, we got episode 4, A Ricker Runs Through It. Now, if it wasn't Rick and Morty, I would just say the title of this episode is racist. Replace that R with an N. But I'll give Rick and Morty the benefit of the doubt because it's the least racist adult cartoon. Think about it. Have you ever heard Rick and Morty do a black joke? The president's black. To be honest, I think once you're cool with aliens and you see all type of green people, transparent people, people that control planets, people with 7 titties, black people, it's a little more easy to accept us. His skin's just black. This dude right here, he has 7 tentacles, 2 testicles, and 5 assholes. So it makes sense. But in this episode, Rick just gets drunk and he has a robot that remembers his passwords, and Morty gets attached to the robot. Well, he didn't know it was a robot at first, but he gets attached to it, and it's the whole thing. Was it bad? No. Was it as good as the other stuff? No. Nowhere near. By the way, episode 3, I give that a 4.9 out of 10. This, 5.2 out of 10. Next, we got Jerbud Snowball. Now, Snowball did come back in this episode, and I would rank it higher if I didn't have to see Jerry naked again. What is wrong with the writers? Y'all cooking, but at the same time, some of the seasoning y'all putting in this shit ain't hitting. Cause why I gotta see Jerry ass cheeks 2 times within the same season? And Jerry's high on worms. He's sucking on worms to give himself confidence, and that gave him enough confidence to take off his clothes and show his worm. But what was Morty doing in this episode? He went to visit Snowball, but they had pet humans. A riot kicked out, and then Rick came and fixed everything. But anyway, episode 7, Mort Gully, The Last Rick Forest. See, this is number 7 and ranked lower on the list because of the name. I ain't even gonna lie, this name really pissed me off. What the hell is a Mort Gully? It's stupid. But in this episode, they were fighting a tree. And it pissed me off that Rick was struggling to defeat a tree. I'm a regular human, and I wipe my ass with trees, toilet paper. So something I wipe my ass with is giving Rick Sanchez, the smartest man in the universe, problems. Yeah, it's talking. Yeah, it's a magic tree. But at the same time, do you not see the shit that Rick be doing? Dying and coming back. beating Avengers level threats, and a tree is giving you some issues. But I like the whole reincarnation aspect. I like the fact that Morty was a plant. I like the fact that we all had to work together to beat the tree. And we should do that in real life more. It's a good lesson. We need to work together to defeat the system. But number 6, we got Salute Your Morts. And in this episode, Beth and Jerry, they get high on this stuff called Forever High. They thought it'd get you high forever because they read the name and not the instructions. And they chose to do some space drugs without confronting Rick because they want to seem like grown people. But I'm grown and I don't know shit about space. You should have asked your super smart scientist dad instead of going out and doing this on your own. And Summer and Morty, they was being bad at school, so they went to summer school, but the summer school was taken over by the kids, and basically an alien was twerking and a baby came out her ass, and they had to give the baby some beer, and that's how Beer Baby was born. But next, we got episode 8, Requiem Mort a Dream. And I'm gonna leave the ratings for the episodes. I'm gonna put them up somewhere. But this episode, it was cool. Like the stuff with the sympathon, how Rick had to put the slug in Morty's ear, so whenever Rick says something bad, it comes out nice. More stuff about their toxic relationship. But what really was hilarious was the serial killer stuff. Man, that B plot where Summer was trying to get the containers and Jerry had to fake being a serial killer and he lied and made the serial killer snitch on him because the serial killer thought Jerry was worse and more of a monster than him just for Jerry to be lying and to be a squirrel cupcake bitch ass nigga. It's hilarious. And the police shot him. They shot him so much his body disappeared. I ain't even gonna lie, I was rolling that episode. So that's why that's starting off my top 5. Now, at number 4, I got Field of Dreams. I thought this would be a little bit higher because it was the season finale. And the season finale of Rick and Morty usually comes strong. But not to say this episode was bad or anything. Matter of fact, it was very interesting. It shows you what Rick would be like if he was sober. And how alcohol is really playing a part into why he... Of course it is. Of course, alcohol, if you drunk 24/7, it's affecting you. But I never really thought of it like that because Rick was so fucking smart, and I figured his brain. It would be like, I think it would be like Superman smoking weed. If fire can't affect Superman, what makes you think weed finna affect Superman? So that's what I thought. But like him, like it's showing him the liquor actually taking effect on him. Now, it might have done that in previous episodes, but nigga, I don't pay attention. All I know is Rick's drunk all the time. Sometimes he's too drunk. Rick has 2 modes. He's either drunk or too drunk. I never thought of Rick being sober. Like I said, that's like somebody thinking of Mulatto, Lotto, or Ice Spice not being sexy. It doesn't cross your mind because... But next, my number 3, episode 6, Eureka Head. Rick Sanchez is so broken that he functions better when he's apart. And that's crazy. But I felt like this episode executed a very simple idea in a very creative way. Rick gets separated from his head and it becomes a whole mind over heart type things. Rick's body does things that he can't say. Rick tells Summer that he loves her without a mouth. Like, he's showing more emotions. But Rick, with just a head, he's more intelligent, less violent. He doesn't mess up relationships with his dick. And that's relatable. You know how much farther I'd be in life if I didn't get horny and want to fuck. You know how many? I would have made so many better decisions if I wasn't thinking with my dick. And I feel like this antithesize. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And plus, at the end of this episode, Rick gave himself head, and that was funny. Number 2, Rick's Days, 7 Nights. This episode right here, this episode was deep. This was deep. So Rick, he mind wipes himself. He makes himself forget his memory. Then he goes out to a different planet, a planet where he has a cherry-haired, thick, older white MILF who owns a bowling alley. He bowls with his friends and he have a different life. One day he gets robbed and he realizes he has all types of Inspector Gadget like robotic parts and things of that nature. After he finds that out, a hologram of the original Rick with his memory shows up, tells him, "You're the smartest man on the planet. I do this to go on a vacation." The Rick without his memory don't accept that, so he fights back. He fights, and then as he's fighting, he becomes Rick without his memories. And when he gets his memories, he's still the same. That shows you, you can't forget who you are. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful right there. Yeah, shout out to me. Y'all should subscribe just for that. You see how I am with words? But yeah, this episode was really good. Made you think. And I still think about when Rick said, "No, it worked." I've never felt so sad for Rick. But at my number 1, I gotta say it. Episode 1, There's Something About Morty. And it's strictly for the evil Morty fight. This was one of the best, most well-animated fight scenes in Rick and Morty. Rick was doing so much. He split apart. He stretched himself. He went to the limit. He had to call the police to beat Morty. Evil Morty. And plus, Evil Morty was in it. Evil Morty is one of my favorite characters. Rick. Evil Morty, I don't know. Free the demon. Free the demon. But that's my number 1. This is my list. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Love you. Peace.